Do you ride your Harley hard or are you a pussy? Hi, my name's Eamon. Welcome to the channel. A few of these things are controversial. You might laugh, you might want to throw something at me. Just remember, I'm in your TV or on your phone and you can't actually get me. Is riding hard for idiots and unsafe? Or is that the beauty and joy of riding a Harley? Statistics say motorcycling is dangerous, but how dangerous is it really? If we dive into the stats and we take out all the guys who've jumped on their mate's dirt bike and scream down the street when they're drunk, or they do that without a license, claiming to their friends they can ride. We take out the middle-aged guy who has a license, but he hasn't ridden in 30 years, and now he needs to keep up with his mates on his new Ducati or tricked up breakout. I think you'll find that the statistics show a different picture. But let's talk about the things that we actually have control over. I was about 2 hours from home the other day at an event. Some friends of mine, a couple who were on a big ultra glide, were leaving and they invited me along for the ride back. I realised I'd never ridden alone with them before and I started to think, what happens if they ride like pussies? It's a long way back with a lot of traffic to get through. This trip might take the rest of my life and I'll never be able to make another video again. So off we went, very sedately, or normal I should say, and after a few sets of lights without splitting the traffic, I was starting to think maybe I better stop in at a bookstore and get something to read for the long ride home. And then as we were putting along, my friend leaned over and he said, "Do you mind if we split the traffic and ride a little harder?" Well, I almost dropped my phone. I had to grab the handlebars. My eyes lit up. "Ride as hard as you like. I'll try and keep up," I said. Bang! He turned into Ghost Rider. And I don't mean Nicolas Cage. I mean the other one. This dude. One of the best rides I've had in years. Often riding with others means you've got to adjust your pace. I often ride hard when I'm riding on my own, but I can get lazy and sort of relax into the traffic because it gets tiring. Well, this didn't happen. We were on a mission of war and we were bombing the out of everything. He was a talented rider. He obviously rode hard regularly. You could see this by how relaxed his wife was on the back of his bike. But this got me thinking about all the little things that I do to make that journey safer and to come back alive. Let me know what you do in the comments below. How hard do you ride and what do you do to stay alive? Number one is anticipation. Ride and anticipate what might be ahead. Assume that all cars are out to get you. Put your ego away, it's nothing personal. Anticipating is sort of like riding defensively, but I'd call it aggressively looking out for yourself. When you're on a motorcycle, you're only a lightweight on the road, but rather than being just defensive and cowering from the larger vehicles and situations that you're going to face, let's be proactive and ride hard but be safe. If you assume no cars can see you, you're going to behave very differently no matter how hard you're riding. If I'm coming up hard behind some cars and I want to pick the gap and go through, it pays dividends to hover behind them for a split second more. Stay in a position where they'll see you in their mirrors, either their rear view mirror or their side mirrors. Sometimes you can even see them looking at you. When you ride through the gap, press through hard and fast. Don't dawdle near or between cars. Those of you who have loud pipes will understand when you're close up to other cars, you can often shock the driver, and this is probably your most vulnerable time. The driver can be unpredictable, so anticipate that and move past quickly. At intersections where you see a car, look for the driver's head or eyes to see if they are looking at you. Cover your brake, and if it appears that they don't see you, take some slack from the lever and be ready. When you're going through a green light, you still want to look left and right. Just because it's red for people either side doesn't mean that somebody won't go barreling through the intersection, especially if the lights have just changed. In traffic, look ahead, read the traffic. What are the other cars doing? Speeding up, slowing down, is somebody turning up ahead? Is there an impatient driver chopping and changing lanes? That's potential trouble for you as you come up next to him. What hazards or conditions are coming up ahead that will change your situation or the way you have to ride. Traffic lights, intersections, roadworks, potholes, gravel on the road. Looking ahead and anticipating trouble will save your life. Number 2 is Spidey sense. And if you know Spider-Man, you know all about Spidey sense. And that's his ability to sense and react to danger before it happens. What this really is intuition. We all have it, but can we all use it? Now, relaxation brings flow, and I'll talk about flow later. And this allows for good judgment and reflexes. And it's the correct state of mind for your intuition or your Spidey senses to work at their peak. Now, everyone's got intuition and the ability to use it. Most people's intuition is blocked by their constant mind chatter. If you've managed internal calm, you might have intuitive glimpses of what will happen ahead of time. But you have to allow yourself to pay attention to it. I can't count the number of times intuition has impressed upon me without any physical cue that a car will pull out in front of me or to slow down now because something's going to happen ahead. Once you experience this, you'll learn to trust it and it expands. You won't need proof anymore. You'll allow yourself to act on the impression or on a feeling. I should go home a different way, or I shouldn't ride today. So you can imagine the possibility of what you might have avoided. Flow state, getting into the flow state. Sometimes in life you get a certain feeling, everything's going right, you're at maximum performance, you're fully immersed in what you're doing. That's the flow state. In the flow state, nothing will go wrong. I can't guarantee that. I always liken it to Kevin Costner in the movie Dancing with Wolves, where he's riding his horse, everybody's shooting at him, he's got his hands in the air, he's nice and relaxed, he survives, everything goes his way, and that's the flow state. Everything goes your way no matter what. This is the zone. Artists know it, fighters know it, most people have experienced it to a certain extent at some stage in their life. Anyone who's ever done anything really well will have experienced the flow state. Some people call it the zone. It's likely that you've experienced it. Most people have experienced it for very short periods of time. Now, you can induce this state by being fully relaxed and present. Being fit and healthy and having a clear mind helps you relax and stay present. Just doing what needs to be done without analysis or thinking about anything past, present or future. So on your Harley, that means just using your senses and not thinking about what might happen in the future or what the driver in the car you just passed did. You become one with your machine. The flow state is the ultimate way to live. It feels like a constant high. When it comes to riding, being in the flow state allows you to not only enjoy the ride, but to put into practice effortlessly all the skills that you've got under your belt. It allows you to read and to ride to the conditions, whether that's ultra fast or slow, without thinking. It feels like you're floating on a cloud and nothing goes wrong when you're in this state. Critics are going to say, yeah, but you're going to be overconfident if you're thinking that you're in this sort of magical state. Overconfidence is a facet of your ego. When you're overconfident, you are not in the flow state. Overconfidence is like taking off your bulletproof vest and drawing a big red cross on your belly. There's some great gear for you on our website. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Stay fit and healthy, and I'll see you on the next video.